welcome to TV Linux. I'm your host today, Shaun Savage. Jesse has a meeting today, and today we are going to talk about making home videos using Linux as an editor. I brought my little mini DV camera. This is about a $200 to $300 camera. And I'm going to take some pictures of today and do some video editing on it. And I'd like to show you how that works. So I guess with no ado, we're going to go into the nerd news. Well, today's story, we've got about 10 nerd news stories. The first one is a Court of Appeals rubber stamps FCC DSL deregulation. What this means is, in the past, the ISPs, like the telephone companies, had to allow competing networks access to their cables. You know, whether it's copper or whatever. Well, what they've said is you don't have to do that anymore. So with this decision, you could probably expect DSL prices to rise, which hurts me. I've got DSL through a non-telco thing because I want a static IP, and I can't afford much. So I'm paying $60 a month for DSL to my house. Well, and it's through Verizon. Well, if Verizon's and my company set can't reach a deal, I lose my DSL. Then I have to use Verizon, and they don't offer DSL. They only offer Fios, and with Fios, I can't have servers on it. Or I can buy a business license, and we're talking $200 a month. So I'm sort of worried about this. You know, to me, the cable belongs to the company that owns it. The information over the cable is the consumer's choice. That's my feeling. Now, we all know about AT&T's surveillance program and how they gave millions and millions of records to the federal government. So what they've done now is they've even got it in such a way that they've created a new language that is able to go through 9 gigabytes of data a night and find communities of interest. So if a terrorist calls you and it's the wrong number, you now become a member of that community of interest. So what it's called guilt by association. If you call someone who they are watching, you will then come up by a guilt of association. And you know, it's really scary on what they can do now. Now, on a lighter side, the one laptop per child experiments with cow-powered laptops. Yes, seriously. What they do is they're talking about, you know, you've seen in those old movies when cows walk around in circles, around and around and around. Well, they're talking about hooking up generators to that so that the villages now can have electricity. So if you're in India teaching Linux, you can have a 3-cow classroom, which means you need 3 cows to power your classroom. Well, the next one is a Microsoft issue. In the UK, schools are warned off a Microsoft deal because in order to get a school license, the licenses are very anti-competitive. Basically, they say for every computer in the school, no matter what it's running, you owe Microsoft a license. If you're an all Windows, that's maybe a good deal. But if you ever want to enrich your students with something that really works, then if you install a Linux or a Macintosh on your system, what happens is Microsoft still gets money for that. So this is the British government saying, the Office of Fair Trading saying, don't take it. So that's a pretty bold step for a government to say, don't take the license. Here's another thing, is with the new update, it is crashing Windows upon when it's installed. So now you get a blue screen of death for even installing new programs. And here's another thing. I've always said that Firefox is much more secure than IE. Well, what they've found is that when rendering an HTML page, Internet Explorer will ignore all 0 bytes. So malware authors are now using this to obscure their scripts. So this means that if you add 6 zeros between every code of a malicious program, the spyware and the virus checkers will not catch it. But Internet Explorer will be vulnerable. So this is just another reason why I think people should use Firefox. Now, we're talking about the future in this story. Researchers say handheld supercomputers in only 10 to 15 years away. So this means that your children or your grandchildren out there will have supercomputers in their hand, carrying them around with them. You know how cell phones and PDAs and iPhones are big now? In the future, there will be supercomputers that will able to do texting, being able to, you speak into it, will translate your voice into a text message and send it. You'll be able to do GPS probably, so there will be a huge amount of computing power in your hand. And as we know, in the past, last week I reported that Comcast is blocking some protocols. Well, on Friday, 2 senators called for a congressional hearing to investigate that phone companies and cable companies are unfairly stiffing communications over the internet or to cell phones. So what this means is if they like you, they'll allow you to stream, they'll allow your packets to go through. But if they don't like you, they will start blocking them and filtering them. To me, that's a bad precedence. To me, if you pay for a service, it doesn't matter where you're going into that service, you should get the same service no matter what you want to do with it. Here again, it's that what's on the line belongs to you, the line belongs to the phone company. Here's another great story about ODF. The South African government adopts ODF as a government standard. We all know what ODF is, and that's the Open Document Format. It is what OpenOffice uses. It is a format that is open around the world, so anyone can use it for their programs. And now South Africa is using it for their governmental communications. So this means that on all South African government computers, there'll either be Open Office installed or Microsoft Office with an open document format extension. That's a great thing. And last week I reported that Microsoft has accepted the European Union's agreement to the 2004 trust ruling. And what this means is that under the terms of the agreement, Microsoft cannot sue any open source project that infringes upon its patents. This is a great day for open source in Europe. So that means if you have an open source project and it may come in foul of Microsoft or they appear to it, all you have to do is move it to Europe and they can't touch it. Again, Congressman to Comcast, stop interfering with BitTorrent. Well, that's the end of Nerd News today. Let's put up the show times for the TV Linux. We are live every second, fourth, and fifth Tuesday of the month. The repeats are Monday, channel 23 at 10 p.m., Thursday, channel 23 at 11 a.m., and Saturday on channel 11 all through Portland at 10 a.m. Welcome back to TV Linux. Now I'm going to show you about video editing on Linux. What I have here is my handheld mini DV. This is a Canon 2R65MC. I just put in a brand new DVD tape. So what I'm going to do is start shooting. I've turned it on. Okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to be oh dear. Showing what happens. Okay, I'm going to try to be shooting some film. I need to turn it off. This is a fairly old camera. I've had it now for about 3 years. So now I've got it here. And I will take some pictures. Okay, and really I don't care what pictures I'm taking. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is open up a program. What I've done is I've installed a FireWire connector here to my computer. And all I have to do is stick it into this thing on the camera. I open this up. I now rewind. So I'm going to rewind the camera. Okay, it's now rewound. Now I'm going to set it right there. As you notice, I have the FireWire plugged in. So now I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to go to Sound and Video. And as you can see, what I've done is I've added a whole bunch of different open source software programs. And as you can see right next to it, I've got a MIDI connection. I could play music. I've got to record and edit audio files. I come down here. I've got the PTI VI video editor, open movie editor. Let's try the open movie editor. And so this is what we see right here. This is an open. So now we'll create a new project. Now we'll open a new file. I know it's in media. Now, so I'll come here to Media, Disk 0, Me. So what this does is this allows you to open this file. And this is just one of them. The next one that I like, that I will be showing you on, is called Kino. And this is what this looks like. As you can see, it's a storyboard editor. So what we'll do is we'll come here and we'll open a file. I know it's on disk, Me. Okay, so what this is a file that I have stored on the video. So right here, what I want to do, now one of the things is when I updated my computer to 710, Kino's not too happy with it. So right here, what I want to do is I want to say, I want to break it right here. I want to take the file, this little over here, you see this part? I want to say, I want to break it right here into two sections. So now I have a section here and a section here. So now what I will do is that's where I want to call my in spot. So now what I'll do is
Hello, I'm Shaun Savage, and I'm very...
Now we'll go up a little faster. Okay, I want to stop it. Now I want to make sure that I'm still in the picture when I break it.
Well, hello, I'm Shaun Savage.
Okay, I'm going to turn down the sound because I really don't care about the sound right now. And as you can see on the bottom, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get to a point where I want to break it again. Okay, what I'll do is I'll break it right there. So I come up here and click it. So now I have this right here. This part I really don't want. This is the part I want, and this is the end break. So what happens is this program allows you to create a sequence of shots that allows you to then pick what pictures you want from the video and edit it. So this is a real neat way of doing it. And what we can do is cut this part out. So what that does is that program allows you to create the storyboard or the program you want using, and that is called Kino. So what we'll do is we'll save this one, and we'll save it on disk, and we'll call it AA1. Save. So now let's take a look at another editing program. Okay. We will try this Pity. Okay, import your clips by dragging them here or using the buttons above. So we'll import a clip. It's on disk. It's on AA1 Kino, and now we'll add. Didn't like that. Okay, we'll add this. So now you see what I have up here is I have a clip up here. Now what I can do is I've clicked that one. Now I can play it. And it says it's 4 minutes long. And I can So, and my computer's a little slow right now, so it's thinking about this. Now, let's find some other programs. Now, you've also got a lot of other programs down here. And what I've done is I've added, in order to get these programs, you come up here to System, go to the Synaptic Package Manager, enter your password, type Video Edit, and do a search. So now what this does is this shows me which programs I've got installed. Right there is Kino. I can capture video for Linux with Perl, MPEG tools. Now, one of the shows that we are going to have is called Myth TV. Myth TV allows for you to hook up a normal, it's sort of like TVO. It's a free TVO. And it has all the things that TVO has taken out already. And as you can see, I do have Ubuntu Studio Video installed. So we'll go back to Kino. And one of the things that you could do is this allows you to trim. You've got your edit program, you've got your capture, and what I could do is I could now capture a program. I say yes. There is timeline, and as you can see, it breaks the whole movie down into separate pages. And as you can see, I now have from 1 to 1087. I can trim it. Right now I'm in at 205. And if you look down here, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to show you my house right now. So I come here and I'm at 1472 or 15. Then I can say set the endpoint to the current position. And I can say apply. So now what I've done is I've got this one, and as you can see, I can bring it along here and scan through the whole video very quickly. In fact, this is my place up in Vancouver that I'm living. And here's the outside. And as you come over here, you see as I move this along, it changes. So if I wanted to play this one, this is me walking around. And if you notice right down here, this tells you the frames that are being used. This is what frame I'm on within the movie. So we'll stop this. And if you really want to get fancy, what you can do is come here to transitions. And what we could do is we can do a video transition, and we can do different transitions. And what we'll do is we will do a transition between this and this. And what we'll do is we will do a dissolve. Now we render it. Now, this is going to take about 3 minutes, so I can't do anything about that. So what this is going to do a transition between that frame and the other frame. And while we're doing that, I can show you some other editing. Now, if you really like video stuff or audio stuff, here is a program that allows you to create sound. Take soundtracks, put them together, and this is your own private mixer at home. It's a great thing if you're into sound and audio. And as you can see right here, it tells the volume. You can put the output volume. You can put the mic input volume. It shows which one's here. And it still has the open files, the check dependencies. You've got the edit, label regions, select, move cursors. Here you can add a new track. You can add a new audio track or stereo track. And as you can see, I added a stereo track right there. And we've got a and what this will allow you to do is to take audio. If you record a song on karaoke, you can then take it and put it in here, edit out any of the beeps and whistles or things that you don't like, and now you have created your own music track. And if you want, you can do multiple tracks. What we'll do is we'll add another audio track. So as you can see, I've got a mono audio track and I have a stereo track right here. An audio right here. It allows you to generate chirps, DTMF, noise, silence. Now the problem with silence is silence has been copyrighted. So if you want to obey the law, you can't make any silent audio. And honest to goodness, that's true. So we're getting back to, so what we'll do is we'll get back to the rendering. There's 17 seconds left. So we will not save it. So that goes away. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now what I've done is I've edited this . So right there. So now what I've done is I've got a new title, and what I will call this is My Hello. The title is My Hello. The ID and this tells what type of video it is. So let's play it now. And as you can see, you're starting to see two pictures now. Now I did this as a very, very long dissolve. And in the end of this, what will happen is it will go completely to the other file. As you can see, it's getting more and more, and the other one is getting faded out and faded out. So if you want to do special effects, what you can do here is take a picture of it, keep the camera in the same position, take a picture of yourself, and now you've created a ghost. So you now can create a special effect of a talking ghost. And these are the type of things that with open source programming you can do. Okay, that's enough of that. So when you are trying to do video editing, there are many different ways that you can do it. Let's see what other, and now say I want to export this. As you can see, I can export it. I can export it either IEEE 1394. I can put it out as a DV file. And I can put it DV file type 1, DV type 2, OpenDML for large files. I can automatically split files, put timestamp in files, resample audio. If I wanted to take a picture of something, all I would need to do would be to take this, pick which picture I want and put it out. I can write out audios, and it could be either WAV format, MP2, MP3, or OGG. I can write out MP3 files and other. And here's MPEG-4. I can write out OGG, 264, dual pass, single pass, VCD, and XVID. So as you can see, and what we will do is we will put it out as a single pass XVD. And we want medium quality or broadband quality. And I will export. And so what we're doing now is taking this and writing it out. What this allows a user to do is to save the files that he has now edited. And we're at about 81% right now. And this is the one big problem about video editing, is that it takes such a long time to do so much. And we're dropping, it says it's going to take about 25, 22, 20, 19 minutes, 18 minutes, 17 minutes, 13 minutes, 12. So as you can see, it takes a while for it to start doing things, but once you are able to output your files and make them look good, you will have a huge, you could create anything you want with this. So what we've got now is I will come back to here. And as you can see, this is where, in the morning, where I get coffee. What I did is I did have a camera with me that was on my, that I had in the car with me. And right now, because it is writing things out and processing it, it's taking a lot of CPU time. That's why it's so slow. And right here, it tells all the different properties it is. Now, for the technically, it is 16-bit, 32 kHz audio. The video is 720 by 480 NTSC 4:3 at 29.97 frames per second. And right now, we're at the end of the video there. So we've stopped. And we've got 3 minutes left on the other one. And what we'll do is we will come back here and go to a movie player. We'll say open. We'll go to disk, AA Kino. go to Applications. And one other thing is I'm trying to do too much right here. Open Play File. Media, disk. Didn't like that. I guess I need to wait until it finishes writing it out. So if you have any questions on video editing, now remember, I'm doing this at TVC TV. If you want to get into really professional editing, you can come to tvctv.org and find out and take a class and take a video editing class. They have great equipment here. They have a great studio here. Can we get a picture of the control room and hold it in there for a second? Lights on, please. So this is our crew. Hey, Dennis, you want to show us the soundboard? This is the soundboard, and as you can see up in the, yes, and as I talk, you can see those lights flash up. That shows you my audio sound, what the amplitude is. Dennis, you want to point to the amplitude meter? Right there, you got it. As I talk louder, it gets louder, and if I talk softer, it says, and when I quit talking, it goes dead. And there's Chris over there, and he is doing the video switching. Do you want to switch to a different camera? Okay, now this is camera 2 pointing at me, and let's go back to the in-studio one, in the control room. And as you can see, you could sort of see me off in the upper right-hand corner, me waving. And also you can see there's 2 big screens in front of him. You sort of see the one that I'm at, that I'm moving at. Then you see the one that they are. Wave your hands and try to get some movement in that one. I guess you can't see it that well. So there's me. So this is TV Linux. Okay, it took 5 minutes to export that. So now let's see what we've got. Okay, now this is it playing. And as you can see, I moved the cursor along here. And do you remember that last shot, right, as I zoomed into my coffee shop? This is where I go every morning. So what we've got here is an editing program that you can use at home on Linux. We'll get rid of this one. So now we've saved it. And one of the ways that what I do in order to download video from my camera, I type dv grab, And if you ever need help with something, you just type help. So you take DV grab to Zot. And what this will do is this will make a file Zot. Okay, now I'm going to start downloading it. Well, I guess this camera's not happy about it. It's rewound, it's ready to go. So now we'll hit play. So I will try to turn this camera towards you, and as you can see on here, you can barely see it, but this is the pictures that I'm taking. And what I will do is I will show you the studio. And this is what I look at most of the time. So now I'll stop it. So that's the neat thing about this image processing suite. We will rewind it. This is Shaun. Oh, hi, Bill. How you doing? Well, I heard the British government doesn't like the Microsoft educational things. Oh, that's a shame. You know, if you only charge for Windows licenses, I can see why it would be a good deal. But if charging for everything, that's sort of like lock-in, isn't it? Oh, you call it consumer advantage. Okay, I see the issue. Yeah, that's one way to think about it. Consumer advantage. So, what else are you up to? Okay, how do you like the patent protection in the European Union? Oh, you don't. Okay, I didn't think you would. Well, I'll let you go. And enjoy yourself. Have your people call my people. Okay, bye. That's my friend Bill. He always seems to call at this time. So what I've done is I'm downloading this to the laptop right now. And I'll move it like that so you can see it. And what I will do is I will show you the studio. Unfortunately, if you have a 60-minute tape, it takes about 60 minutes to download. And I think only did about 5 minutes of this. Well, I want to talk about, sort of wrap this up. I've been using Kino, which is a open source editing program under Linux. There are many different Okay, I'm going to stop it now. Okay, there are many other programs. Open Movie Editor, we'll take a look at that one. We'll close this and close. If you want to open these programs, there's different Open Movie Editor, which is we'll take a look at that. It allows you to have render, edit tracks, add video track, add audio track, view normal screen, plastic style. And down here it shows you the different tracks that you have. And here's Razor Blade. This is more professional like you'll get here. There's some other ones here. Here's another one. This one is a very, very basic one. You can import clips just by clicking on disk. So you can then add clips to timeline by taking it, dragging it down here, and going poof. And now we have a 4-minute section here. And now we can start playing it. As you can see, it's the same one that we've been working with so far. The difference with this one is this one doesn't allow you to do any editing or cutting, or it just takes and puts clips together. I can go into full screen, come out of full screen, and what this will allow me to do is render the project. And we don't have time for that. So as you can see, you have many different options under Linux to do your editing. We've got about 2 minutes left. I want to thank the crew for being such wonderful hosts. Thank you, crew. I want to thank TVC-TV. Jesse's not here today. With TVC-TV, remember, if you go to the website, it will allow you to start getting into the world of video and television. It's a great field. You can make a lot of good things there. The next show is November 13th at 7 p.m. on Channel 11. Now remember, 7-Eleven. And I guess it's time to end up with Tux Racer. And this was a live TV Linux. This was our 67th show. Let's bring up the video and I'll show the Scandu, and I'll show everyone how I pick which Tux Racer there is. We'll do this one.